Your usual announcer is Chief Sid Gotro is still in Washington, D.C. at FBI school, and Greg Allen is lost somewhere on the highway. So this is John Brown, and
I've got myself here, Ron Wall, trying to pinch hit for Mr. Greg Allen. Greg is, like you say, lost on the way over here. I know last year, John, in February, we came over here for a volleyball match when the Baker girls came and played in the state tournament. Got lost as a goose and like we never found this place.
well, it's not the easiest place in the world. Our director, Bert Carson, gave me directions and only took 2 gas stations and a 7-Eleven to find my way here, but I'm sure Greg will make it sometime. Baker High School is just taking the field, and it appears like they've won the toss and are going to receive.
Make any day special with Fun Flowers from Billy Ann's. Starting at just 25 cents, Fun Flowers fit any occasion or give them for no reason at all. Billy Ann's is ready to help you with your flower needs day or night. We're easy to reach. When thinking of flowers, all you need to remember to do is dial Florist. Our staff of professionals are ready to serve you. Remember to just dial Florist for Billy Ann's flowers and gifts.
That special feeling when you're driving a superior deal is satisfaction. Superior Ford, where the savings are real. For service that's one of a kind. The friendliest people you'll find at Superior Ford and Zachary, where you can drive a superior deal and feel superior.
The Struma High School in our district last week and came away with a loss, so we don't really know a whole lot about them because I don't know, we've never played Comeaux. To my knowledge, what do you think, Ron?
No, the first time we've ever played them, John, and look forward to a good game here.
Okay, Lamar Thomas is back deep for Baker to receive the kickoff as the Spartans are teeing it up on the 35-yard line, and we're going to be underway in just a moment.
They got a nice facility here, John. They got a big, nice stadium, a nice press box over here on the visitor side. Of course, a little nicer one over there on their side. When we came out here for the volleyball match, they've got a very fine campus. They've got 2 big gyms, and we're about ready to get underway here.
That's right. Mike Fontenot's getting ready to kick off for the Spartans, and we're underway. It's a high, booming kick taken by number 23, Cedric McNeely, and he's off. He's to the 30. He's to the 35. Finally brought down on about the 42-yard line.
Yeah,
Very good run back.
Good run back. Gives Baker good field position. You folks out there are going to have to bear with John and myself during the game because we're not the regular announcers of this thing and not familiar at all with the Comeaux people.
That's right. But if you like it, send your cards and letters in. Maybe they'll invite us back again.
I'm just going to
Flag on the play. Baker's a little excited here. They jumped off.
Yeah, it looks like their left tackle jumped offside a little early there. I just keep looking for Greg Allen. I just hope he shows up tonight. He'll owe us one for this. Looks like they're stepping off 5 yards against Baker, so it'll be first down and 15 to go. This is good, 15.
They may have changed up the numbers a little here. My program has got Johnny Fletcher, who's usually our quarterback, at number 11, but we've got a number 15 under the center, and that looks very much like Johnny, so they may have lost the number 11 jersey this week. There's a handoff to the left side of the line, pick up of about 3 yards. Be second down and 12 yards to go for the Baker Buffaloes. Fletcher's on a rollout. He pitches out to Thomas, and Thomas breaks one, and he's finally hauled down on the Spartan 41-yard line. first down and 10 for Baker.
Hey, he gained almost 20 yards on that run. Nice little option play around the left-hand side.
That's good. Maybe the scouts in the booth on the other side have spotted a little weakness on that side. We've got some real speed in some of these young fellows that are playing for Baker this year. If they get to the outside, this may be a runaway for Baker. Sure would be good to see some long runs this year. We had a really nice one last week with that 85-yarder. Whoa, a little mix-up in the backfield there. It was a very short gain for Baker.
Well, he gave it to the first man through, and it was just kind of stopped up on the inside. I think Baker looks like they're going to try to establish that running game, John. They don't have the prolific passer that they had last year in Chris Mook. Of course, it's one of those guys comes along once every 20 years, I suppose, one that can pass like him. So they look like they're trying to establish their running game.
That's true. There goes Eric Butler. Eric is doing quite well. He's down to the 36-yard line.
Hey, looked like they had him hemmed up inside, and he kind of juked to the outside and picked up about 5 yards on that play.
That's correct. Eric's quite an outstanding young man. He's only a 10th grader, and he's getting to play a good bit. He played last week a good bit of the time. He's got a promising athletic career ahead of him here at Baker High School. Very seldom you see a sophomore in the backfield.
And he's a big boy, too. He's 200 pounds.
All right, it looks like Johnny's looking for the pass. He fires one, and let's see if it's ruled complete or not. It was mighty close. Yes, they're going to give it to him.
That's another first down for Baker, and they've got a good little march going here.
That's right. We're inside the 30-yard line of the Spartans. Baker's not wasting any time. They're right up to the line right after the ball set. Fletcher's looking over the defense. There's another handoff to Lamar Thomas. He breaks a tackle, and he finally dragged him down out of bounds on the 15-yard line. Another first down for Baker. You're right, Ron. They really have that running attitude tonight, and they're doing quite well with it.
Well, you know, Thomas broke to the outside that time and just lowered the boom on number 46, Ron Simon, one of their linebackers or defensive backs, and just bowled him over. Burst right on through for another first down.
One thing I'm noticing tonight is Baker's ready with their plays. They're right up to the line of scrimmage as soon as that ball's set. Thomas has got the ball again, and they're waiting for him this time. Very short gain, maybe a half a yard. It's going to be second down, about 9 and a half to go for Baker.
You know, Baker's got some big guys out there at back. They got Thomas at 175 pounds, and then they've got the Butler kid, Eric Butler, 200-pound sophomore, and Speedy too. So they got some real talent there in the backfield.
Thomas has got the ball again. He cuts back, and he's down to the 10-yard line this time. It's going to be third down and very short yardage for Baker.
He picked up about 5 yards that time. We got a penalty flag down on the play, though, John.
Initial signal is holding against Baker. That's going to set us back 10 if it's accepted, which I'm sure the Spartans will to try to slow this Baker drive down. Those little mental errors cause more teams to lose good drives. Just trying to get that extra advantage and getting that hand over on somebody. Well, the Spartans take the penalty. It's going to be a replay of the down. It'll be second down. The ball spotted on the 20-yard line. It'll be about 14 yards to go for the first down, which the way Baker's been running the ball, that may not be that big of a problem for them.
And here's my salvation, Mr. Greg Allen coming up the aisle. I'm glad to see him.
Oh, incomplete pass over the middle.
Just right out of the hands. Just barely missed it. Lindsey Scott. Right through his hands.
Johnny's come on real well. And folks remember him playing a little bit last year. Of course, he didn't get a chance to play too awful much because with a quarterback like Chris Mook in the game, it's tough to break in. But you can watch this game, and Johnny's playing with a lot more confidence than he even had last week and in the jamboree before that. Before the year's over, he's going to develop into quite a good little quarterback.
Well, they've got third down and about 14 to go, but that's not insurmountable with a decent passing attack.
Cedric McNeely has the ball on a little screen. He gets up to about the 15-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down. It's going to bring up a fourth down and about 9 yards to go. We'll see what the coaches decide to do. This may be a little far out for a field goal, but we got a young man with a pretty strong leg this year, and it looks like he's gone in with a kicking tee in his hand. We're going to see in just a second. Yeah, it looks like Baker's going to attempt a field goal. The ball is going to be spotted on about the 22-yard line, which will make this a 32-yard attempt, which is a pretty fair distance for high school football. The snap, the place, the kick is on its way, and it's good.
The Baker jumps out to a 3-0 lead with 7:45 remaining.
There's some laundry on the field. Initial is holding against the Spartans or something. Well, I'm not sure that's going to be refused or not. It all depends whether or not Baker might pick up a first down.
It looks like a personal foul penalty, Jay. If that's the case, then it'll be 15 yards, and we could have a first down on it. Mr. Greg Allen just walked in, so I'm going to sign off. This is Ron Wall. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Greg Allen.
You can hang with us. I think we got a third mic if you'd like to, but that too, you got a date, and keep our name. I appreciate that. I appreciate you there.
All right, folks. The penalty against the Spartans is refused, and with 7:45 remaining in the first quarter, it's Baker 3, the Spartans 0.
Add a new look to any room or to the whole house with new wallpaper carpet or tile from PPP Interiors. Pam and Julie have been helping people with interiors for 7 years, and they'll be happy to help you. Our Armstrong Studio Showcase displays complete lines of Armstrong carpet and tile, which guarantees top quality at an affordable price. Call from September 15th to October 1st and tell us you saw this commercial and receive free installation. Get started on that new look today. PPP Interiors, 775-7587.
That special feeling when you're driving a superior deal is satisfaction. Superior Ford, where the savings are real. Ford service that's one of a kind. The friendliest people you'll find at Superior Ford and Zachary, where you can drive a superior deal and feel superior.
You got to say that.
It really is.
A nice beautiful field condition out there tonight. Folks, I'm Greg Allen. Glad to be back with you for the 1987 Baker High School Buffalo football season. We'll be bringing all the football games to you this year, both home and away. And the playback times will be different, as you'll note as we get started here for the season. But it's good to be back with you again. And our guest commentator tonight, John Brown, is a former Baker High School Buffalo himself. Sid Gotro, who usually announces with us, is away right now, and he's out of the FBI Academy, so he's going to probably be with us about the third, maybe fourth football game of the season. And I know he's anxious to get back, John, because he's got a son, a young man on the football team this year, who is a senior, so he's going to be anxious.
That's right. Will's done quite well the first game.
I got a son out there myself, old Goo Allen, number 50, who's playing ball this year, and we're real proud of him. He's done a good job so far, as all these boys have. We'll be mentioning everybody as the year goes by. I'm sure everybody on the Buffalo team. We don't have a great senior squad in terms of numbers. We don't, as we have in the past, John. We've lost a lot of football players in the past. Every year we've got a substantial number of seniors, but not as many as we normally would have. But
we've got the nucleus for a good football team. That penalty was imposed on the Spartans on the kickoff, so we're going to be kicking this thing off from midfield. So we ought to be able to put it way back there, Greg. We're ready to kick off.
Well, I missed a little excitement. I got here, they were lining up for the field goal when Baker scored, the first team to score tonight, and lead 3-0. There's kickoff.
The ball is bobbled and out of bounds.
Well, Johnny never gained possession of the football, but neither did the Buffalo, so it went out of bounds with no team having possession, and the last person to touch football, of course, was one of the Comeaux High School Spartans. It appears Comeaux will be taking over 1st and 10 at the Spartan 22-yard line. Okay.
This is their first offensive possession. We'll see how our Baker defense stacks up against them. But obviously going to test the center of our line for a very short gain. The Baker defense has come on quite well. They played an outstanding game last week against the Broadmoor Buccaneers, holding them to that one touchdown. And I think the officials kind of helped them on that one a good bit. Down the field.
There was some disappointing comments in the stadium last week about some of the calls that was made by the officials. But you know, they're like the football players. It's the season's new. They're a little cold and a little green. They're going to be making some errors here.
That's right.
Hopefully they'll get them all done in the first 1 or 2 football games. Beautiful defense by the Buffaloes that time. Stop for looked like no gain, John.
That's right, Greg. Little or no gain. The middle of the Baker line is turned out to be a pretty tough defensive unit.
Nose guard for the Buffaloes right now is big number 66, Tom Cobb. Right defensive tackle, it appears number 77, Tim Gooden, if I'm getting the number right. Of course, at left defensive tackle, number 73, Terry Causey. The center of that line has been tested, and they've been doing a good job. Here we go.
Boyd's throwing a pass, and it appears to be complete for a first down. See what the officials say. Yes, they're ruling that complete.
Well, he caught the football and slipped down on his own accord. Right there next to him is number 21, Robert Sullivan. He was there to molest the ball carrier, but he didn't have an opportunity to make a tackle. The man slipped down.
I'm trying to feel my way along through this program. I looked out there expecting to see old number 11, Johnny Fletcher, go out there and quarterback the Buffaloes, and I looked up at number 15. I don't know whether they lost Johnny's jersey or not, but I'm trying to identify these boys from their looks almost. The little quarterback, Boyd, keeps the ball and makes a nifty gain around the right side, almost for a first down. We'll have to see where the officials spot the ball. That was a quick count. It's going to be a little short. Bring up second down and only about 1 yard to go.
Folks, we're not in our own house and getting started here in somebody else's facilities. We're a little late identifying some of our football players. We'll just kind of set the defense for you in a few minutes. At right cornerback is number 20, Von Page. At left cornerback is number 8, Armando Frank. Good defense by the Buffaloes that time. They stopped the Spartans right at the line of scrimmage when the Spartans had attempted a sweep around the left end. I don't see number 10, Chris Womack in at safety. He is the starting safety for the Baker Buffaloes. John, has he been in the game, or was there some reason that y'all would know before I got here the reason he's not in the ball game at this time?
No, Greg, this is their first defensive time against them on the ball. So
no noted injury or anything. Okay, at the left cornerback right now is number 9, Lamar Thomas, and at deep safety is number 8, Armando Frank. At left safety, it appears to be number 29, Alvin Green. These Baker Buffaloes playing good defense right now, John. They've managed to stop the Spartans. However, on that play right there, the Spartans made it looked like a first down, but they only had like a yard and a half to go. But they hadn't sprung for anything big yet. The Buffaloes contained them within about 20 yards so far on about 9 or 10 carries.
That's right. Baker's using the bend but do not break method at this point. They hadn't allowed any big gainers.
In at linebackers at the right side, number 46 is Marcus Walls. There he is right there on the tackle. As a matter of fact, number 46, Marcus Wall's in on that tackle with some assistance from the left linebacker. We'll pick up his number right now and kind of give you an idea who it is. It might have been number 21, Robert Sullivan, in assisting on that tackle.
Another very short game, though. That's good for our defensive middle.
Okay, who's our defensive ends, John? Let's get a number. We got on this end, looks like number 83, maybe. Let me get a number before I call a name here. Good
Great defense. That's right. Look at there.
Well, there's some sticking that we just fixed to call our defensive ends. Number 83, Artie Miller stuck his nose right up in there and
he must
made
have
a
known
beautiful.
we were thinking about him. He wanted to introduce himself to us.
Did a good job.
Sure did. Well, this is the kind of situation that a defensive coordinator loves. Third down and long.
Folks, at left defensive end is the big number 86, Eddie Gibbs, doing a fine job for the Buffaloes so far this year. We got a beautiful defensive interior as far as the interior line is concerned, and we have several folks that substitute in and out of there, John, that's probably as good, and we know is just as good as the ball players that's on the field right now, but what more can you ask for with Big Terry Causey in there and Tom Cobb and Tim Gooden up there right up in the middle? I wouldn't want to run against them myself, I can tell you that.
No, they're growing them a lot bigger than when you and I played, for sure.
We're going to use some of that beef out there when we was on the football field.
Well, that's the truth. Well, obviously, the Baker defense has got the Spartans a little stymied. They've used one of their timeouts to talk this over. The ball is right over midfield in the Baker territory. It is third down and long yardage to go for the Spartans. So if we can hold them here, Greg, we're going to get the ball back in fairly decent field position. Well, let's see how the Baker defense reacts.
Baker defense is doing everything you can ask of them right now, right at this moment.
That's correct. Boyd drops back, and he's going to hurl one, and it's intercepted.
Beautiful. Robert Sullivan, number 21, picks off the pass, the Spartan pass. Little number 21, Robert Sullivan, makes an interception for the Baker Buffalo. As they lead into the sidelines, all of his teammates cheered him on there. Beautiful, beautiful interception, Robert Sullivan. Baker Buffaloes will take over the ball now.
That's right. He stepped right in front of that pass receiver and just took it right away from him and headed back down the field. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Baker on their own 43-yard line.
Jay, he jumped up in the air, and if you know him in person, he has to jump up. I don't know. He's not very tall at all, folks, and he just went up in there and got that football.
Okay, Johnny, wearing jersey 15, hands off to Lamar, and this time they've got his number. That play's been working all night long before you got here, Greg, but I'm sure their defensive coordinator must have talked to them on the sidelines because there was a host of Spartans waiting for Lamar that time around the left side.
Well, what's the surprise? I'm late on everything. What's the surprise with Johnny Fletcher wearing jersey number 15 tonight? He's listed in the roster, folks, as number 11, and of course he's been wearing number 11 this season, and he's on the field tonight as number 15. Y'all don't have any news on that as to...
No. Maybe the equipment. Oh, beautiful pass to Lamar Thomas. And Lamar goes downfield, and he's finally dragged down on the Spartan 35-yard line. That's a pickup of, 22 yards, Greg? Johnny's really showing a good ability to pass. He's coming on since the beginning of the season in passing. That was a big question mark going into this season as to whether we were going to have a passing attack, but Johnny's starting to...
We had number 84, Will Gotro, go into the game for the Buffalo. I was trying to pick that number up. I'm reading it's number 8, and you're saying it was Lamar Thomas that caught it. Well, it is.
There goes Lamar again. Lamar off the left guard, and he's down to the 25-yard line.
I'm sorry, Lamar was just a little late identifying you, but you were right. That is Lamar Thomas.
Lamar is so fast, Greg, it's almost hard to read his number sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. He's done a beautiful job running so far. Number 88 in the ball game for the Buffaloes, James Monaghan.
It's 1st and 10, folks.
In relief for 84, Gotro.
Inside the Spartans' 25-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle to Butler, And he doesn't go very far. They're waiting for him. That was a very sharp game, folks. It's going to be second down and 9 yards to go for the Buffaloes as they come back up to the line of scrimmage.
Cedric McNeely's wide to the left for the Buffalo.
Oh, a little option play.
That was a good defensive effort by the Spartans that time, Jay.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure the defensive coordinator got over there on the sideline and said, look, that big number 9 for Baker is eating our lunch. You better get out there and get him on those sweeps.
Folks, we've got good camera coverage tonight. At least it's showing up on our monitor as good camera coverage. Hopefully the film comes out that way. We want to thank Treb Agency, Baker's own public relations firm, owned and managed by our producer, Mr. Bert Carson. I want to thank Bert for taking his time to come over here to Lafayette.
Johnny pumps 3 times.
Cedric
He
McNeely.
hits Cedric right between the numbers.
A beautiful pass and a beautiful reception that time, Jay.
That's going to be mighty close for a first down, Greg. It's right on the 15-yard line.
You know, I said I want to thank Bert for coming over here to Lafayette to bring us Buffalo football, but it's not like he's doing anything out of the ordinary. He's a former Baker High School graduate himself. He's been in love with his school since he's been here, and he's participated in something that had to do with it ever since he's been gone, Jay. So he's not doing anything out of the ordinary. He's covered all of our football games for us in the last 4 years, and being over here in Lafayette tonight is no exception. Mr. Bert Carson, a fine citizen and a dedicated alumni of Baker High School.
Well, it appears that we're just a little bit short, Greg. It's going to be fourth down and about a foot to go. And that's the end of the first quarter. And Baker leads 3-0.
There you see the scoreboard, folks. We're getting a little zoom in on the scoreboard. End of the first quarter, as Jay said, Baker Buffalo's leading 3-0. We're going to the second quarter. The officials are at this time moving the football down the field to respot it. And I think when we left, when the quarter ended, Jay, it was like going to be like fourth down and what, a half a yard or something? We're getting pretty close to the stick.
About a foot to go, Greg. So
when you have a family of your own, you want to make sure they'll have the things they need, the way you always did. When it's time to plan the life insurance program to secure their future, there's someone nearby you can depend on. Your State Farm agent knows life insurance and is ready to help, like a good neighbor.
Call Bill Burbank at 926-6630.
Make any day special with Fun Flowers from Billy Ann's. Starting at just 25 cents, Fun Flowers fit any occasion or give them for no reason at all. Billy Ann's is ready to help you with your flower needs day or night. We're easy to reach. When thinking of flowers, all you need to remember to do is dial Florist. Our staff of professionals are ready to serve you. Remember to just dial Florist for Billy Ann's flowers and gifts.
all weather, to coin a cliche.
Beautiful.
They're kind of bunched up tight in the backfield.
We might get a shot at these sticks over there. We're going to see the play right now. And there we go.
It's a hand up through the middle.
Depends on where they spotted, folks. It's going to be pretty close. It appears where the official's putting his foot right now might leave the Buffaloes a little short, I think. Well, they're going to call timeout for a measurement.
No, they're going to give him the first down.
Okay, good. He had the distance.
We've got a...
Hey, Lamar Thomas carried that time for the Buffaloes.
That's right up the middle. That'll give us 1st and 10 inside the Spartan 15-yard line and give us an opportunity to add to that 3-0 lead.
First down here will have us knocking on the door, Jay, for a touchdown. So,
Johnny sprinting out and he's pitching out to McNeely.
boy, the coverage on the option play was beautiful by the Spartans that time. They had Johnny Fletcher covered the whole time. He never could cut in because the man was running side by side with him. And finally, when they pursued him, he pitched out, and they were right down McNeely's throat. So defensive coverage of the option for Baker so far has been well for the Spartans tonight. You can look probably in a situation like this, they lost a couple of yards. They do have a fairly decent aerial attack, and maybe you can see them put the football in the air.
In fact, here we go. He's throwing it in the air right now, and
Picked off. Doggone it. He had his man open, but he threw behind. He threw behind Gotro that time. Gotro was open for a split second at the goal line, or maybe at about the 5-yard line, and he threw behind him, and the ball was bobbled around, but the Spartans came down with the football.
well, if there's any consolation, at least we have them bottled up back on their end of the field. The way our defense has been playing, maybe we'll get the ball back defensively. We have a change in quarterbacks for the Spartans. They have a young fella by the name of Armando Frank in. Oh, excuse me, Todd Guillory. I'm going to get this thing straight. Armando plays for us at quarterback, or aspiring to. Was gained about 3.5 yards on that play. We're still playing tough up the middle, Greg.
Okay, we got a different defensive secondary in that time, and Chris Walnut, number 10, playing safety for the Buffaloes. We talked about him a little earlier. I'd expected that he would have started, but they have so many good ball players, you don't know from week to week who's going to be starting, Jay. There's nobody solid in a position yet. It looks like Coach Thomas has such talent that he starts different players at different positions from week to week. I guess it's comfortable when you have that kind of talent on your team to be able to do that.
Depth will definitely win some football games for you. A lot of folks are happy if they've got 11 players they can put on the field that they feel comfortable with. But as you mentioned, Coach Broussard, the defensive coordinator, can just almost turn around and pick a young man and put him in there and do a good job.
Well, we've got a yellow ribbon on the play that time, folks. So we'll be looking at the option of a penalty here, it appears. You're right, and nothing, I think all of the fans that was at the opening regular season game last week against the Broadmoor Buccaneers are aware of what the lack of depth can do to you. And of course, Broadmoor suffered from that disease for the last couple of years, the disease of lack of depth, and they virtually kept 18 players, both on offense and defense, working all night long, and that's a hardship on your football team. Whatever the penalty is, it appears it's going to put the Buffaloes in a position as having held the Spartans and going to put them in the Spartans into a punt condition.
Looks like an illegal shift signal on the field, and Baker Buffaloes are refusing. That's going to bring up 4th down, as you mentioned, and 5 yards to go, and the Spartans just will have to kick, and this ought to put us in really good field position.
Well, he had a long time to get possession of the football.
We got Trent Ellis fielding the ball. He bobbles it a moment.
Beautiful wall. The wall set up, folks. He might go the distance. They got a man can cut him off. He can't get
All the way, 50 yards.
a beautiful, Jay, so often in situations where you see a kickoff return artist, a punt return artist, bobble the football and take a little time getting possession, the coverage closes in, and when if he does manage to get possession and get a step on him, the inevitable happens. And so often you see that in college, pros, and high school football. That's exactly what happened that time. Trent Ellis bobbled the football, and it gave the Buffaloes time to set up the wall, which sprang him in for the touchdown.
That's correct, and he did some nifty running to elude those first several Spartan tacklers or would-be tacklers because they were right there on top of him. He put some good moves and got to that wall, and he was gone for 50 yards, and the extra point is up, and it's good. And the Buffaloes, with 8:50 remaining in the half, lead 10-0.
A house is a house is a house. Anyone can have one. All it takes is a roof and some walls. However, it takes a special touch to make a house a home. PPP Interiors has that special touch, as seen in this popular Lou Rich home. Take your shoes off and stroll across your floors covered with fine Bolic carpeting and your special color and texture. PPP has Armstrong tiling in a variety of colors and patterns for your easy-to-clean kitchen floors and a full line of wallpaper for the look you desire. So come by PPP Interiors, 1420 Mississippi Street, and make your house a home.
It doesn't keep the doctor away. Will your health insurance really help? Or will medical care costs eat it up too fast? If you want a free review of all your coverage needs, check with State Farm. To find out how healthy your health insurance really is, see a State Farm agent now.
Call Bill Burbank at 926-6630.
The Buffaloes are kicking off, and it's a short kick.
George Lebrano kicks off for the Buffalo.
Good coverage by the Buffs, though. They knock him out of bounds short of the 35-yard line. And the Baker band is playing, and it appears that everyone on the Baker sideline is having a good time with that 10-0 lead. There's no reason why they shouldn't. The Buffs are looking tough. The defense is looking exceptionally well.
I don't know if y'all mentioned it before I got here, but of course, being the second regular season game of the year, Comeaux fell victim last week to the Struma High School. So hopefully another East Baton Rouge Parish team will welcome them into high school football tonight for the 1987 season. Well, might have a bobble. No, just some eagerness. Eagerness on part of the Buffalo defense that time.
That's right. They attempted to run. They got away from that middle and decided they're not going to be able to run up the middle, and they tried to run off the left side of Baker, and they were there for a stopper to hold them to about a 2-yard gain, so it's going to bring up second down and 8 yards to go. I'm really impressed with this Baker defense. I know there was a lot of question marks after the graduation last year, but they're looking impressive so far. Great penetration by the Baker defense. They were back there to greet the Spartan quarterback and throw him for a loss. This is going to bring back up third down and 10 yards to go, folks. Comeaux comes out split wide to the right. Looks like they're in a passing formation, but they pitch out to the left-hand side. But the Baker Buffaloes are ready for their little bit of trickery and hold Comeaux to a 5-yard gain. That's going to bring up fourth down, folks. And Comeaux is going to be forced to punt, and that will give the ball back to the Baker offense. That is, if our speedy return men don't decide to take it back all the way. We've got a new offensive threat here. The offense doesn't necessarily have to touch the ball. Greg, we've got a scoring threat right there with these two young men that are receiving this punt.
That we're really there, as we witnessed a while ago on that last punt return. There's no chance he could bobble it again, maybe, huh?
Well, I tell you what, the kicker kicked that one away from our receivers.
Well, Baker's going to have 90 yards to go this time, Jade. It looks like we're going to be starting at the Buffalo 10-yard line, if the marking that I'm looking at is correct. Folks, we want to apologize. I just took a break for a second talking to our producer, Mr. Bert Carson. And in the booth here, we're unaware sometimes of what actually going on. We do look at the monitor sometimes, but on the kickoff, on the punt return a while ago, that was so beautiful that we were all enjoying, and you heard us talking about. I think we got I think as the play developed, we videotaped the back of a couple of Baker's best. The policeman stood up so excited. You see, we got their back. So we want to thank Mr. Randall Dunaway, the Baker Police Department, for providing a little coverage for us here. Randall kind of feels bad. He doesn't talk about it. Don't feel bad, Randall, because we're going to probably see more of y'all before the year's over with.
We got some new running backs in the backfield. That last carry was by Earl Marcel for a short gain. I'm sure Coach is confident with that 10-point lead. He's trying to let some of the other young men have a little bit of playing experience. The pitch back goes to Earl again, and he has a nice little gainer.
I think Coach Thomas has confidence in all of the football players he's put on that field tonight, Jay. In the situation where he's at right now, down inside the 15-yard line right now, near the 10 a while ago when the drive started, you don't put anybody in that ball game that you don't think is as good as the folks that you took out. So this is an indication right now that if we got some new blood in the ball game, that Coach Thomas feels that his ball players are all equal. You can bet that there's nobody in his mind that's better than the other one. And I think
there's a handoff right up the middle to the fullback, and it's going to be mighty close for a first down.
Look like McNeely, maybe, no? No, I'm sorry, number 32 carried for the Buffaloes, Mike Davis. Look, Mike Davis, a hard running back for the Buffaloes, and had a good ball game last week.
It's a first down, Greg. He got right up to the 20-yard line, just exactly what it needed, no more, no less. Breathes new life into our offensive drive here.
Got to be a comfortable feeling for a head coach that can put a new team out on the field, and they do just as good as the ones that just left the field. We all know Greg Mook is a fine quarterback, fine junior quarterback. Probably for a junior quarterback is as good a quarterback as they have in the parish. Definitely in our district. We'll expect and probably see some great things for him from him next year as a senior. Number 74 for the Buffaloes, Eric Brabham comes out, replaced by a big number 50, Goo Allen, at right guard. And Greg Mook is a fine quarterback as a junior, so you know what you can expect as a senior.
Greg's going to go back and give his passing arm a little workout. Really? He completes it.
He had a couple of receivers open that time. Number 84, Will Gotro was open that time, but he managed to find little number 4, Earl Marcel, for a fine reception.
That showed quite a bit of athletic ability, sprinting out to your right there with the Spartans in hot pursuit, and for him to be able to pick out a receiver and gun it right in there to him for a nifty little gain and a first down for the Buffaloes on their 35. There's a pitch out to Earl, and he's broke it for another first down.
Earl Marcel again for the Buffaloes, little number 4. From the last offensive possession, that's new blood right there, and it shows you what they can do. He's got the Baker coaching staff has some fine talent, and a lot of these boys they can look forward to for next year. Little Earl Marcel just running the football number 4 as a sophomore, Jay. So
that's correct. And he was the one that was carrying the ball down on the 10-yard line. So as you said, the coach has got great confidence in him for sure. Greg looks like he's going to air it out again. He's got quite a rush.
Beautiful. Boy, I tell you what, he did a fine job of maintaining his stature that time, and with 3 guys converging on him, 3 at best, maybe 4 converging on him heavy, he got rid of that football. A lot of football players eat it. Of course, there's some danger in there. That ball could be picked off, but so far he's made it work to his advantage to where the ball has fell to the turf.
That incompletion will bring up a second down and 10 yards to go. Greg's looking over again. Great catch. A great catch.
Well, did you see little Earl catch that football and turn around and see that down marker and try to dive to get that first down, Jay? That's what champions are made out of right there.
That's right. The ball is partially hidden by the Baker High School team, but it must be mighty close for a first down because the officials are giving it a hard look.
There we see Coach Broussard, the defensive coordinator, in the left foreground of your screen. He just went out of sun. Oh, there he is.
We're going to get a measure
Coach Melvin
from the
Broussard.
sidelines.
Coach Milton Broussard is standing there looking at it. He's showing that we're a little bit short, about an inch. There he goes, indicating. We're going to save our money, folks, and get a little zoom lens on this camera one day, so...
He's zooming in.
There you go. I think we got one.
We're going to zoom in for the spot of the ball.
Get a little zoom in here. There you go. And you can see, folks, you're talking about a maximum of inches for a first down for the Buffalo. It's going to be third down and virtually nothing but to play it down and gain something, if that makes any sense. Well, you can bet that the Comeaux Spartans are going to be bowing their bag. They'll be up in that center tight, Jay, to try to stop the easy gain off tackle or off guard, and you can almost bet that that's where little Greg Moose going to take his football team.
It's either going to be a quarterback sneak or probably a handoff to
I think he's very capable of doing that himself as a quarterback sneak.
He may get it there. We go quarterback sneak for several yards. Easy first down.
I'm talking about your quarterback, folks, that just made that first down. Greg Moose, a junior at Baker High School, who so far starting the season is backing up a fine quarterback, number 11, Johnny Fletcher, who's wearing jersey number 15 tonight. Johnny Fletcher is a senior, but Greg Mook is from an athletical family. Everybody remembers his brother Chris, who was a fine quarterback for the last 2 years for the Baker Buffaloes, now playing college.
Greg's going back to air it out again, and he hums it. Whoa!
That was a little too high.
That was a little tall.
Pass was intended for number 88 for the Buffaloes at the time, James Mountain. I was talking about Chris and the caliber of people that comes through this high school. About Greg and his brother Chris. There's not a Sunday that those two boys aren't in church, Jay. And I think if you looked at that squad on an individual basis, that you would probably find better than 90% of them that were the same characters. That they was whichever church they go to, they're in there on Sunday. And of course, that's promoted by the coaching staff of Baker High School and the faculty and administration. They've always believed that Christianity and good moral character was the basic fiber of what it took to make successful men. And so far, Baker's been very successful at putting out successful men.
Yes, Baker can look back over the years at the people who have played at the school, and there have been some fine folks that came out of that went on in later life to become even better athletes and credits to the community.
No doubt about it.
It's third down and we got a blitzer, and they almost got away from it.
He really did. A fine effort by quarterback Greg Mook that time, folks. Through no cause of his own, somebody didn't pick up a man coming off a right tackle who was right down his throat, and still he almost got away. He almost got loose.
That's a sizable loss back to the Baker 45-yard line. I'm sure we'll see the first Baker punt of the night. Greg is our punter. Greg Mook, that is. Greg Allen's not going to be out there punting, folks.
I was the kicker, though, Jay.
I remember that. That's what I was going to tell the folks. That was a good little kick and a great coverage. Jesse LeBlanc took that ball and moved to his left, and the Baker team did too, and they nailed him right about the 18-yard line. So we got him backed up again. That was a good little punt. Baker's done a good job of keeping Comeaux back on their end of the field.
They really have, and you know there's a talent in that. That don't happen accidentally. That's good football when you can keep your opponent at a deficit. Right now, folks, with 1 minute and 43 seconds left to go in the first half of play here in Lafayette against Comeaux High School Spartans, Baker leads by a score of 10-0.
Todd Guidry's dropping back to pass, and he's pressured. He gets away from a couple Baker tacklers, and then he finally goes down after a very short gain. He had to kind of run for his life there.
In the ball game for the Buffaloes, number 79, Cretan Gilroy. And coming out for the Buffaloes, number 66, is Tom Cobb. And number 22, coming out of the ball game, Buddy Gayro. Trying to see who it was that went in at nose guard for Thomas Cobb.
The Buffaloes are at home.
Okay, in at nose guard, and in on that tackle right there that took Thomas Cobb's place is big number 79, Creighton Gilroy, that went back in the ball game, I guess.
That little draw play didn't go anywhere unless, in fact, he lost 3 yards. That's going to bring up third down and 9. I know Coach Broussard just got to be proud of Punch on the sidelines at the effort that...
we got a timeout, Jay.
Timeout by the Buffaloes. Maybe they think they're going to be able to get the ball back again. I tell you what, with the punt return crew that we've got, it surely would be worth spending that time out to bring Comeaux up to fourth down and let them kick that ball again and see what little Trent or Lamar might be able to do with that ball.
Anything can happen, Jay. Touchdowns are made in 5 seconds sometimes, and there's 37 seconds left on the clock. Coach Broussard wants to kind of give his defense a little breather, make sure they don't make any mistakes with 37 seconds left, and also maybe get them in a position to where, like you said, something could happen. They could make something happen by having this little breather maybe that could put them back in a scoring position. Coach Milton Broussard, kind of a fixture around Baker High School now, Jay. Been around for years, came right after you and I got out of school, and left for a couple of years, went to Struma High School, back now as Baker's #1 defensive coordinator. Of course, Coach Joe Mook is offensive coordinator.
That's correct. We have a pitch out.
Whoop.
It's a fair game for Comeaux. It all depends where they spot the ball, whether or not they're going to have enough for a first down. Officials are taking a look at it, taking a long look at it. And they're giving them the first down. That's one of very few first downs that Comeaux has been able to garner in this first half.
Jay, with 25 seconds, I doubt you'll see the Buffaloes calling any timeouts, and it's kind of deep in the Comeaux territory for them to be thinking that they'd have an opportunity. If they have timeouts left, they could take them, and I've always been one to say if you got them, don't waste them.
Oh, no.
You can't save them to
That's
the
right.
second.
You can't trade them in. They appear to be in a passing formation, and indeed they're going back. And
We got incomplete.
Almost intercepted.
We thought that Robert Sullivan might have had his second one for the night, folks. Number 21 was right there to break up that pass and just barely didn't maintain control of the football. But he did break up the pass, and that's the key thing.
That takes us down to only 5 seconds left. There's only about time for one more play. We'll see whether Comeaux is going to risk putting it back up again. They're on a rollout. The quarterback's going to have to run the ball, and he's run out on his own 45.
Well, I think the clock might have expired before he got out. Let's see.
Yep, that's it. That's the end of the first half. Baker leads 10-0, Greg. They played a good first half.
Well, folks, we're here at Lafayette, Louisiana, at Comeaux High School, entertaining the Spartans tonight by a score of 10-0 at halftime. Right now on the sidelines, you see the Baker High School marching band, the Buffalo band, lining up to take the field at halftime. And we're going to take a little break and be back with you shortly.
Special feeling when you're driving a superior deal is satisfaction. Superior Ford, where the savings are real. For service that's one of a kind. The friendliest people you'll find at Superior Ford and Zachary, where you can drive a superior deal and feel superior. superior deal is satisfaction. Superior Ford where the savings are real. For service that's one of a kind. The friendliest people you'll find at Superior Ford and Zachary, where you can drive a superior deal and feel superior.
Second half,
See the Buffaloes in the end zone, Jay, getting under the goal post, getting ready to charge the field for the second half of play here. Baker High School Buffaloes, anxious, leading the Spartans right now by a score of 10-0 to start the second half.
I know I was always more anxious to come back on the field when I was ahead too, so they're out there waiting on the Spartans.
Oh yeah, they're anxious to play football right now. You can book it. And very capable. There we see head coach Larry Thomas right in front of his Buffalo squad there. Fine head coach and a gentleman that we're all very proud of to be the leader of our sons out there, I can tell you that.
That's right.
Baker High School Buffaloes. Coach Thomas in his second year, Jay, as head coach of the Baker Buffaloes with a very impressive record so far. Having only lost one regular season game last year and then, of course, losing in the state playoffs last year. But so far this year, has no marks on his record whatsoever. He's in the second regular season game and undefeated, and hopefully he leaves here that way tonight. And we have the Buffaloes having a consultation and prayer to start the second half. What about the new administration we have at Baker High School, Jay, and Harry England, a fine gentleman from Woodlawn High School, was the head football coach. And he comes up here to take Jerry Epperson's place as the head administrator of Baker High School. Bert and I met with him the other day, and we were very well received. He's a fine gentleman, and so far it looks like he's going to be an asset to Baker High School and to the community. He brought somebody with him, didn't he?
Yes, that's right. He brought new assistant principal Wayne Messina. He was also an assistant football coach at Woodlawn High School, and I had a chance to visit with him. And he seems to be a fine young man, too. He's a perfect replacement for Mr. Bullock, who served in that position for many years. And both Mr. Ingalls and Mr. Messina love athletics, and I think they're going to carry on the fine job that Jerry Epperson and Mr. Bullock did for so many years. And I think that the torch has been passed to a very capable duo, and I think we're going to be very proud of them in the years to come, too.
No doubt about it. And I think Harry Engel will be the first one to tell you that if he could do the kind of job that Jerry Epperson did, that he'll wind up a career one day very proud of himself. I want to tell you, Jerry Epperson, as a man, as an administrator, just as a human being, is one of the finest people you'll ever meet. And he's not out of the system.
In fact, he's sitting right down below our camera right now. So, once a Buffalo, always a Buffalo. He's here.
Folks, to start the second half, kicking off for the Baker Buffaloes is number 76, George Lobrano.
It's a short kick taken by Brian McIntyre, and he breaks it loose a little bit. He's about up to the 46-yard line, and that's about the best field position Comeau's had all night, if I'm not mistaken, Greg. We'll see what words of wisdom Coach Broussard had for his defense, but I don't know if I would have told him too much because they played a sparkling first half. I'm sure the boys may smell a shutout here. They just barely missed one last week on a sort of a fluke play into the end zone where Broadmoor scored that 6 points.
The defense going to have to bow their back now. They're up near midfield on about the 46-yard line. So.
There's a handoff right up the middle.
That was number 22 of the Spartans, Kevin Kennison. Well, on the first play from scrimmage, it looks like maybe the coaching staff for the Spartans had something to say at halftime, too.
I'm sure they did.
One play don't win a ball game, but so far, on that one play, on the kickoff return in that one play, it looks like they're coming out here to play football in the second half.
That's correct. They're on the 48-yard line of Baker.
So early in the second half, folks, the Spartans are in Buff territory.
Boyd Simon's back at quarterback for the Spartans, and he hands off through the middle, And a nice run right up the middle for number 42, Jason Dejon, I'm sure it's pronounced here, to the 31-yard line of Baker.
Well, we don't want to. We got to give the devil his due. I guess he's on 2 plays now from scrimmage. They've got the ball way down in Buffalo territory. We talked about the Buffalo defense having to bow their back here on their own 31-yard line. They're going to have to get serious now.
That's right. If an offense gets something going, 10 points can disappear in a real hurry.
Good defense that time.
Oh, yes, they were there waiting for him.
Beautiful defense and pursuit that time by the Baker Buffaloes. In on the tackle, number 86, Eddie Gibbs, and number 46, Marcus Wall that time. Good pursuit by those 2 fine Buffaloes.
That's right. They're going to mark the ball back on about the 34-yard line. That's going to be a loss on the play and bring up about a 2nd and 12. That's the kind of defense we were used to seeing them play. They may have not quite woke up from their halftime nap. They may have been so relaxed from playing such a good first half. But there goes another one. Oh, look at that.
Number 20, Von Page, was right there covering that option play, and on the pitch back to the offensive back, Von Page just nailed that man right there for another loss. Another important loss for the Spartans, important to the Buffaloes, that is. Sets them at another deficit, Jay. So the defense, like you said, it appears that the nap is over with. They're backing away.
That's
A few changes was made in the lineup after the first couple of plays. Maybe that's made a difference. Who knows?
That's going to bring up 3rd down and very long yardage for the Spartans. And we got a roll out to the right-hand side. I think the young man was looking to pass, but it's opening up, and he's made quite a good run, but he's knocked out of bounds on his own about 27-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds that time by number 21, Robert Sullivan, and some assistance from 29, Alvin Green for the Buffaloes. Fairly good pursuit after a long gain by the Spartans. However, it's still going to be 4th down.
Someone's coming out with a kicking tee for the Spartans. Number 80, Mike Fontenot. Maybe we're going to see another attempt at a field goal, and we sure are. He's putting the tee down at the Spartan 34-yard line, which is going to make a 44-yard attempt. That is quite a distance.
It's been a regular defense in case it's not a...
He's kicking it, and the boy's got a leg. It's long enough, and it's good.
Boy, it fell right over the goal.
Yes, sir. It didn't have a yard to spare. That's quite a kick for a young high school boy. And the Spartans have broken through. Baker still holds a 10-3 lead, but we can see how fast that a lead can evaporate. It's only 8:37 remaining. We played a little less than 4 minutes, and on the first possession, the Spartans have moved it down the field and got some points out of this thing.
Make any day special with Fun Flowers from Billy Ann's. Starting at just 25 cents, Fun Flowers fit any occasion or give them for no reason at all. Billy Ann's is ready to help you with your flower needs, day or night. We're easy to reach. When thinking of flowers, all you need to remember to do is dial Florist. Our staff of professionals are ready to serve you. Remember to just dial Florist for Billy Ann's flowers and gifts.
Yes, the Spartans have broke through, and we've lost our shutout, but we still hold a 7-point lead as they prepare to kick off, and it's a high kick going to Lamar Thomas. And Lamar is up the middle, and he slips. Oh, Greg, I think he would have gone a long way on that particular run back if he hadn't have slipped. The hole was opened up.
Cut his ankle twisted on him, Jay, it appears. Let's take another look at the run back there by Lamar Thomas. We're going to take another look real quick.
Kick off, and it's a high kick going to Lamar Thomas. And Lamar is up the middle, and he slips. Oh, Greg, I think he would have gone a long way.
Okay, that was your rerun look at Lamar Thomas on the kickoff return after the Spartans had scored a 3-point conversion.
Baker comes up to the line of scrimmage. It's 1st and 10, and Greg Luke's in at quarterback. He hands off up the middle to Earl Marcel. Earl gets a nice little gain of about 4 yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and a long 6. talking at halftime, Greg, it does look like Coach Thomas has almost 2 complete offenses and defenses that he's playing tonight, because we're getting to see a lot of young men with a lot of playing time that are usually in backup roles.
Hand off to Thomas that time.
That's right.
He's diving for the first down marker. It appears that where they're going to spot it, he's going to wind up about a half a yard short, but I don't want to preempt the officials here. Let's see where they spot it, what they're going to call. So Baker from the line of scrimmage with their first possession in the second half seems to be moving the football a little bit, Jay.
That's correct. Well, the official's signaling the timeout, an official's timeout, and he's pointing toward the yard marker.
Yeah, they're going to bring the chains in to kind of get a spot on the football to see. I don't think that they're convinced it's a first down, but they might be wanting to use the chains to spot the ball.
The sideline official is giving one of those signals like my wife does when she's trying to make a left-hand turn. I'm not real sure. I'm not sure what he's trying to signal, but they are bringing the chains out on the field. It may be that we have a first down, and that down marker just was spotted back. They're pulling it out, and
he's a little shy.
Look, he's down. Look, if the official's down on his knees looking at this thing. I don't know if they're going to get a magnifying glass out on this thing, but it must be close, folks.
It was closer than I had indicated that it was, it seems like, but
it's first down. It's first down.
First down for Buffalo.
Well, this gives a whole new meaning to making it by inches. I think that one was by millimeters.
That's why weekend sportscasters that don't do this for a living is not supposed to preempt the judgment of the official. I'm sitting there thinking third down, and with a measurement, it appears the Buffaloes have a first down.
We'll take first down every time. Greg pitches back, and it's bobbled momentarily. Then Lamar pulls it in and makes a nice little gain around the left-hand side of the line.
Lamar Thomas, number 9, a fine athlete. By all rights, was stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss that time, but because of great individual second effort, Jay, he managed to pick up 4 yards, making it 2nd and 6 instead of second and what could have been 12 or 13 yards.
That's great. It was pure athletic ability that time, Greg, for sure. Greg Mook's driving back to pass. He fires one, and it's incomplete. His intended target was Will Gotro. I'm sure that...
Out of the hands of Will Gotro that time, out of his fingertips. I don't know that could have caught the football, but it definitely touched his hand. Now, Jay, something we need to be concerned with 6 minutes and 36 seconds left in the third quarter of play here in Lafayette at Comeaux High School. Baker has 10 points on the board, but they haven't got a point from the line of scrimmage other than their field goal.
That's correct. It was all by the way of that tremendous run back.
We're going to have a flag on the play. We got some fans in the stands kind of thinking there might have been a late hit there, but I don't see a flag downfield.
Doing a little refereeing there.
But we did have the setback to the far left for Baker that time did move. He did jump. I don't know.
Well, that's true, but he can move, and if he gets set for a second, that shouldn't have been a penalty on Baker, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, the official on this side that was right beside it didn't go a flag.
That's right.
It was on the other side of the wheel, so.
The flag was on the far side, but that was a nice little pass by Greg Mook for a completion, and would be a first down for Baker if it stands. The ball's resting on the 34-yard line of Comeaux High School, and the officials are
He's the captain yet. Now they're calling for the Baker captain, talking to Greg Mook.
maybe we had encroachment by the defense.
Well, there was on this side, and I thought that's what caused our back to move. If the defensive man didn't get back, then the penalty could be against Comeaux High School.
Now they talked to both of the captains. Now they're talking to the Comeaux captain. So the Baker players are pointing toward the Comeaux players, and
they have an advantage if they've talked to the officials already.
maybe they've got offsetting penalties here. Stay tuned, folks, and we'll find out. what the men in the striped shirts have to say.
There you go.
Well,
Head officials.
okay, we have an illegal procedure against the buffs signal.
I think the referee's a little perturbed because the down marker was moved that time, and I think it's...
All right, they've stepped off 5 yards against the buffs, so I guess they've resolved this. Oh, we have a personal foul against the Spartans.
The late hit that the people, the fans in the stands are getting
Exactly.
concerned about.
We couldn't see that flag from on our side of the field, so it looks like we may lose 5 and pick up a big one. The officials have marked the ball back to the Spartan 48-yard line for the Baker penalty, and now he's explaining the options to the Baker captain, which I'm sure he will want to avail himself of a large penalty. And there he goes. It's going to be 15 yards against Comeaux High School, which puts the ball, Greg, approximately back where the pass was completed and gives us a first down.
But Jay, the end result is the Buffaloes didn't get hurt. They made out. In the ball game for the Buffaloes, number 50, Cool Allen's coming out. Number 74, Derek Graham. Well, Baker's got something working for him on this drive so far. That was a little bullet that they dodged that time, but it was a late hit, and because the fans had reacted to it immediately.
There's a pitch out to Eric Butler, and Eric is caught from behind, but he gets away and slashes up to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a very short gain, if any.
Big Eric Butler, 200-pound sophomore.
That's right. In fact, they're going to mark it for about a yard loss on that particular play.
Will Goodrow in the lineup for the Buffalo.
This drive has consumed a great deal of this quarter. The Buffs have had the ball for a long time. There's a handoff to Lamar Thomas off the right tackle for a short gain. He'll spot the ball on about the 32-yard line. He'll bring up third down and about 8 yards to go. We're going to look and see what bag of trips that Coach Mook is going to reach down into and send into Greg to engineer here. We've only had one Baker punt the whole game.
Two Buffaloes split wide to the right, Jeff.
And it's a handoff.
On the weak side. There's Butler again.
Eric, a short gain. Looks like he's going to come up short of the first down, but the way Baker's been running the ball, there may be some consideration to going for this thing.
Well, Jay, they're kind of right now in no man's land. The ball being spotted at the 27-yard line. I know we don't have a kicker that I don't feel like can make a 44-yard field goal, and then they're too close in the punt, so they're almost, it's almost pre-designed that they'll have to go for
They're going for it. They're coming up to the line.
3.5.
That's right. They're coming up to the line. Greg's barking out the signals, and he's dropping back. Looked like he wanted to pass, and he tries to roll out, and he's forced out on the sideline for little to no gain, so the Spartans have held.
We took a couple of them down on the sideline. See a gentleman in a blue shirt getting up with a down marker. He failed to get out of the way. Somebody hadn't explained the game to him yet, I don't think.
That's true. When you see it,
big old boys head your way, you take your little down marker and go visit mama in the stand.
that's it. Well, it's going to be first down and 10 for the Spartans going back the other way, and the Buffs held on to the ball for an awful long time and chewed up a lot of yardage, but didn't get any points out of it. So we're going to have to see how the remainder of this quarter works out for the Buffs. They're back on defense again.
Now, Comeaux had a good drive while ago from somewhere near this territory right now, Jay, that they brought down and converted into 3 points.
All right, Simon, there's a flag in the play, and they've got Simon in the backfield for a loss. Who was that got him there?
Number 86 made the tackle for the Buffaloes.
That's Eddie Gibbs.
Yeah, Eddie Gibbs again. Eddie Gibbs been getting through that line, doing some good for the defense. The indication is the penalties against the Spartans. They'll be talking to the Buffalo captain.
I don't know if they want to take this or not unless it's a big one because they did lose yardage on the play.
It will be declined by the Buffaloes, folks.
Well, that's smart football. They lost yardage. And it's going to be second down and 12, and it would have been first down and 15. So they made a wise choice, I believe, that time.
Defensive backs now in the ball game is number 10, Chris Waddle to the right side. To the left side would be number 29 for the Buffaloes, Alvin Green. At the corners is number 20, Von Page to this side. Who just made that tackle, by the way. Little number 20, Von Page. Beautiful tackle.
That was a short gainer for the Spartans. That's going to bring up a third down and about 6 yards to go.
Ron Page is his family's kind of a heritage in Baker. His dad, Joe Page, played for the Buffaloes. His granddad, of course everybody knows, is a fine gentleman in the community with Dixie Electric, and then his other grandfather is the famous Amos McCullough, who was a fine football player at Baker High School.
Here comes the Spartans. They pitch out to Jason Dejon, and they've got him. Stop cold.
Tackle by Buddy Gayro that time, number 22. Buddy Gayro in there tripped up the back in the backfield for a fine tackle.
Well, the bus of hell, they've got the Spartans shut down on the 29-yard line, and here comes the exciting part of the Baker offense, the punt return unit.
Trent Ellis and Lamar Thomas deep for the Buffalo. Trent Ellis, of course, breaking after a bobble while ago, breaking that punt return for a touchdown.
50-yard return, and we got a howitzer of a kick.
Lamar Thomas signaling for a fair catch because they were right down his stovepipe that time.
They may have been too close down on him. There's a flag on the play, and it may be very well that they didn't give him enough room to catch that ball, Greg.
And they have to. They have to give him like a 3-yard perimeter or something, I think.
And he definitely waved for a fair catch on the thing, and I think they ran right in on him. So we got some laundry down in the field, and the officials are discussing this. I didn't see a Baker player hit anyone, so but like you said a moment ago, it's better not to second guess them. Well, we are getting signal for something. We'll have to wait and see what it is.
I think an illegal fair catch. Lamar Thomas moved after he was set to catch the ball, but he had to because the ball, he misjudged it in the beginning. He never indicated he was going to run the football, Jay. He backed up, you know. I can see if he caught it and then run forward with it, but all he did was make a backward motion.
Well,
With a motor fault, they signaled an illegal fair catch, so it was a 5-yard penalty against the Buffaloes.
Only thing I saw he did out of the ordinary is he signaled with both hands instead of one. Maybe he was trying to call timeout. I don't know.
If it was just one guy rushing him, I'd say signal with one hand. But he had 5 of them down the road.
He wanted to be sure they saw him.
I don't blame him.
All right, well, we're gonna start this off on our 25-yard line, or 26-yard line. It's gonna be first and 10.
Look, Trent Ellis.
Trent gets a nice little gain up close to the 30-yard line.
In the press box with us tonight, folks, is Mr. J.C. Brown, fine gentleman of the community and one of our real estate experts of the community. Mr. J.C. Brown, brother of the famous Jay Brown. Glad to have you with us up here, J.C. Known as Joe to most folks around, I guess.
Johnny Fletcher hands off to Lamar Thomas, and they've got his number in the backfield. He stopped for little or no gain. He may even lost one on that one, Greg.
I was a little bit more comfortable at halftime than I am right now. It seems that while the score is still 10-3 in favor of the Buffaloes, the clock's running with 1 minute and 25 seconds left to go in the the third quarter of play. The Buffaloes have been stymied to a point that they really haven't got any major offensive attack mounted here yet.
Well, they are after Johnny Fletcher, and they are all over him.
And that's an indication right there of what I'm talking about that's got my concern.
Well, they just buried him on the 15-yard line. They're going to mark it back at about the 18 where they first hit him, but they came through there. I think they call that the Toreador defense. You just kind of wave a flag at them and let them run through.
Well, there's no doubt that the Spartan defense has come alive. They've done a good job in this second half of play against the Baker High School offensive attack.
That's right.
Mook's back to punt for the Buffalo.
That's right. It's a bad punt.
You better get on it. You better get on it.
Greg's got it. Greg's kicks.
Uh-oh. Stop it.
It took a Spartan bounce, and they're going to have excellent field position inside the Baker 15-yard line. Well, we've had a bad set of circumstances for the Buffaloes take place in the last few minutes, and we're going to really get a chance to see if the defense can bow its neck, because they've got some serious problems right now.
Okay, we're going to take another look at that snap there, folks. We're going to take another look at the snap that was miscued by Mook into the end zone where he went back, and then he still managed to punt the football with no distance whatsoever. It's got the Buffaloes in a hole bad.
That's right. It's a bad punt. You
better get on it.
Greg got it. Greg kicks.
Stop it.
Spartans come up to the line of scrimmage. They're inside the Buffalo 15. They hand off up the middle for a very short gain. The Buffs were at home that time. I tell you what, Greg, with that field goal kicker that the Spartans got there, well within that young man's range. So they've got an excellent opportunity to come away from here with at least 3, if not trying to tie this game up. And that's the end of the third quarter, and we've got...
We got a ball game in hand.
That's right. What seemed like was going to be a runaway for the Buffs to begin with is it may turn out to be a nail-biter here. And as is the tradition at all Buff games, the team has the 4 fingers up, meaning the fourth quarter is ours, and we sure do hope that they can live up to that promise.
That special feeling when you're driving a superior deal is satisfaction. Superior Ford, where the savings are real. Ford service that's one of a kind. The friendliest people you'll find at Superior Ford and Zachary, where you can drive a superior deal and feel superior.
To the line of scrimmage with second down and about 8 to go. They hand it off right up the middle, and the middle of the Baker line is there once again to hold the Spartans to a very short gain. You would think that they would have learned their lesson. They haven't been able to run up the Baker's gut all night long. Any success that they've had has been on the outside.
Back in the game, number 10, Chris Womack at the defensive safety coming out for the Buffaloes, number 8, Armando Frank. Well, the Buffalo defense will find out what they're made out of in a situation like this. And so very often in games past and years past, with the reputation of Buffalo defenses in the past, they managed to rise to the occasion, and hopefully this is no exception to the rule.
Well, the quarterback still got the ball, a keeper around the right side for a small gain. He stopped right about the 5-yard line.
It's going to be about 2 yards. It was a nice game, Jay. It looks like he's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down. Well, a yard and a half, maybe.
That's right. The Spartans have a decision here. They've got a really good field goal kicker.
I don't think there's any doubt that
they're going for it. Yeah, they're mighty close. They feel like they may not get an opportunity to be back this close.
Well, at best, at worst, maybe they could get a first down. Is what they're
That's right.
like. And,
Boyd steps into the center, and he bobbles the ball. He bobbles the ball, ladies and gentlemen. And the Buffaloes have held on 4th down.
The Buffalo defense, in its fine tradition, has risen to the occasion here in Lafayette, Louisiana, when their backs was against the wall because of a miscued punt while ago. The backs against the wall, the defense came in and done the job, Jay, as we've seen so many times in Buffalo football history.
That's right. The Spartans gave us a present back, too. We gave them a present on that bobble kick, and they bobbled from center, and we held them. Now it's 1st and 10 for the Baker Buffaloes, and hopefully the offense will get something, because we're right in the shadow of our goal line, and anything can happen when you're back that far.
But they're gonna be conservative for a few plays. You can book that to to try to work it out.
We've still got a long time to go. We've got 10:25 showing on the clock.
The Buffaloes dodged another bullet that time because all indications was that they had to go their backs and rise to the game, or they could be in trouble right now.
That's correct. This is a strange football game. The two halves are almost complete opposites of each other. Baker looked very impressive in the first half, and there's been spots of brilliance for the Buffaloes, but their offense has been mostly shut down. And Lamar Thomas is making an excellent run around the right-hand side. That's right. Picked up about 12 yards. That's a very bright spot for us. That's the best offensive output that we've had from a running play, I believe, this half, and gets us out of a hole. Gives us first down on our own 17-yard line and out of the shadow of that goal post.
Will Goto out the lineup, going in for the Buffaloes, big number 88, James Manigan.
Johnny Fletcher brings the team up to the line of scrimmage. And he hands off over the right-hand side. We got a gain up to right over the 20-yard line. That Eric Butler running the ball, number 33. Promising sophomore at Baker High School. Will Goto back in the game. Off to Lamar Thomas again, and he breaks loose. He's to the 40 and finally dragged down on about the 43-yard line. That was a nice piece of running by Lamar Thomas.
He almost shook loose, and he did get loose from the would-be tackler, but he maintained him and held him just long enough to get some other pursuit there, or he'd have been gone down the sideline.
Well, this looks a whole lot better. Out on the 40-yard line looks a lot better than our own 15, so that's right. It's sustained almost to a 30-yard drive here, so this is looking like the Baker offense that we saw in the first half. Fletcher hands off to Butler. He bumps off at the line of scrimmage and is finally rode down for no gain, maybe even a small loss on that one. It's going to bring up second down and 11 yards to go for Baker High School. Johnny Fletcher hands off again to Lamar Thomas, and he's dragged down from behind after a gain up to about the 47.5-yard line.
Gain of 5 yards on the play with a man pursuing him from behind.
That was a nice piece of running. He drug him for several yards. That's going to bring up a third down and 7 yards to go. We've got enough breathing room out here. Maybe Coach Thomas will feel comfortable about putting it up in the air.
Baker tonight hasn't been very successful in the air. They've left the football on the ground several times on the passing attempt.
Well, that's exactly what's happening. Johnny goes back. He hits Trent Ellis.
He fought for the first down.
Exactly. He went right for that yard marker.
After the tackler hit him, he fought and dove. He spun and dove, and what appears to be the first down.
That's right. He did. He picked up first down. Keeps the drive alive. Second effort by that fine young man. Well, Baker definitely has some promising football players come up. We've seen several sophomores playing tonight, and they look like old veterans, Greg.
Well, you see number 5, Trent Ellis, weighs 150 pounds at least by the roster. I doubt he weighs that much today, but there's a proof right there that you don't have to be big to be good, I'm going to tell you.
That's right. That boy's got lots of heart, obviously. There's a quick pitch to Lamar Thomas. He's got a blocker out in front of him, and he scoots up to the 38-yard line of the Spartans, and it looks like we got a drive going here.
You got to give it to the Buffaloes. They've came around here on this drive to mount a little offensive attack coming from a real decisive deficit down around the 5 or 6 yard line.
Oh, look
into the Spartan territory.
We've got a flag on the play, and the early indications is it's against the Spartans.
Could have been some late contact over there. It was on the far side.
It's a dead ball foul. It's a personal foul against the Spartans, and they'll march off 15 more yards.
Well, it definitely was on Lamar Thomas. They assaulted him on the sideline over there after he had been tackled. So
that may be the only way the Spartans can stop him is to mug him when they get him on the sideline.
He's a vibrant runner. There's no two ways about that.
The option will lie with Baker, and we feel sure that they're going to take it because the official is going to march off 15 more yards closer to the Spartan goal line. That's going to give
Eric Brabham out of the game. Number 50, Goo Allen, in to replace him. Jay, we said this a while ago, but I want to reiterate that the Baker team is impressive with the number of football players they have that can go in the game and play football. I mean, there seems no limit to the numbers of the players they can put in there.
That's right. There's a handoff up the middle to Earl Marcel. It's been a while since we've seen him, but he ran quite well earlier.
And he's tough. They never did bring him down, but they, of course, drove him back into his territory.
Little or no gain on that play. It'll bring up second down and 10 yards to go.
Line up into replacing number 88, James Manigan. Number 88, James Manigan's 175-pound junior, so we're going to see some big things from him for the rest of this year, maybe, and next year.
Oh, Johnny.
Spartans have recovered the fumble. There was
A mix-up in the backfield. Cedric McNeely, I don't think he ever really had the ball. It looked like it hit him on the hip.
just as he was receiving the ball, a defensive man made contact with him and shook it loose. We're going to take another look at that play right now, folks. All right, here we are, back to action.
Spartans got the ball going back the other way. It's stymied what looked like a good drive for the Buffs.
Good defense that time. Little number 20, Vaughn Page. Vaughn Page was blocked, and a good block was put on him, but he didn't quit, and he still managed to get to the running back. Vaughn Page saved some valuable yardage for the Buffaloes that time by a fine second effort.
He sure did, and he held that runner to no gain, brings up second down and 10 yards to go. The second quarterback, Todd Guidry's in for the Spartans. Obviously, Bob Banana, the coach at the Spartans head coach, feels equally as confident with his two tandem quarterbacks because he's let each one of those young men run the offense on several occasions tonight, and one seems to be more adept at passing and the other adept at running. So we have the runner in there now. There's another handoff up the middle, and the Buffs are there for a very short game. It may be close enough for the officials to take a look at it, though. They only needed a very... No, it's still going to be about a yard short, and it's going to bring up fourth down. And the Spartans are going to take a timeout to talk about this. With only 4 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the game, at this point you never know whether you can get the ball back again, so the Spartans are taking a timeout to talk about this. And Baker is planning his defensive strategy.
While we have a timeout, Jay, I want to mention some folks that makes this telecast possible. Some of the business people in Baker that supports this program monetarily as well as spiritually. We want to thank Superior Ford of Zachary, Friends, which is a hair salon in Baker, PPP Interior, owned and operated by Julie McCullough and Pam O'Neill, and Billy Ann's Floors, Billy Ann Riddle, owner and operator. These folks contribute to this program as they do to many other things in many other positive programs in our community, Jay. And without support of businesses like these folks, we wouldn't have a lot of the benefits that we do
definitely appreciate all of them. This fourth down, a very important down, there's a handoff, and they're sweeping right, and then Baker defense is wrong.
Oh, no! There's going to be a flag on the play, folks. Piling on is going to be indicated against the Buffalo.
Von Page had shut him down and thrown him for a loss.
Von Page and another tackler had made the tackle when a third tackler came in, and
Just enthusiasm.
that's exactly what it is, momentum. He had momentum coming in there, and he couldn't resist him. That's going to be a real big play for the Spartans, Jay, where we would have had them for a loss on fourth down and had taken over possession of the football. This penalty will give them new life and new blood in this particular drive. Let's take another look. We're going to take another look at what happened on that play.
A very important down. There's a handoff, and they're sweeping right, and then Baker defense is wrong. Oh, no! There's going to be a flag on. Okay, Greg, that penalty puts the ball at the Buffalo 48-yard line and gives the Spartans first and 10. A little under 4.5 minutes to go. The Spartans run the option play, and the quarterback keeps. He's dragged down about the 45-yard line for a small gain on the play. Bring up second down and about 8 yards to go. As I mentioned before, the Spartans have put in Todd Guidry at their quarterback, and he seems to be a little bit better at running the option play than the Simon boy that was playing earlier.
Well, in the ball game, and Lamar Thomas coming out.
The Spartans are going to throw a pass, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted. Robert Sullivan gets his second interception of the night.
The defensive safety, number 10, Chris Warmer, went up for the football and broke up the football, and then as it bobbled in the air, Robert Sullivan picked off his second interception of the night, which is dodging another bullet for the Baker Buffaloes. So we're going to take another look at that right now.
Wait. Greg Moots at quarterback. He hands off to Lamar Thomas. Lamar breaks a few tackles and is finally dragged down at the 45-yard line. Depending on the spot, they may be mighty close for a first down. Greg?
Well, after a hard blow against the Buffaloes on the piling on, unnecessary roughness was called against them to give the Spartans new blood. The Baker Buffaloes pick off the pass and have managed now to take possession of the football.
Lamar Thomas up the middle. He breaks a tackle. He's gone. He's gone, folks. He's gone all the way.
Beautiful running effort by number 9, Lamar Thomas for the Baker Buffaloes, was hit by 3, maybe 4 would-be tacklers to the center of the line. Breaks for a long
55 yards.
55-yard touchdown. Buffalo.
That's what we definitely want to take a look at.
Okay, we're going to take another look at it real quick here, folks.
Lamar Thomas up the middle. He breaks the tackle. He's gone. He's gone, folks. He's gone all the way. All right, folks, here we are back after that exciting run by Lamar Thomas as Baker prepares to go for the extra point. That's quite a turnaround. Just a few minutes ago, we were on the ropes, and now we've got an extra 6 points. And going for 7, the kick is up. It's long enough.
It's good.
And it's good. And Baker goes out to a 17-3 lead with 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
Our insurance agent, and they told their neighbors. These folks told their neighbors that same agent was good for life and health insurance too. And this family recommended the same agent to insure their neighbor's home. Why do so many people end up buying all their insurance from a State Farm agent? Ask a neighbor.
Call Bill Burbank at 926-6630.
Greg.
got to say one thing about the Comeaux Spartans. They have not quit in this football game with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game. They came out here to play football, and
They're quite competitive.
they really are. I don't know what kind of season they're going to wind up with, but tonight they played heads-up football, disregard any other game they've ever played so far.
I'm not sure what kind of caliber football that the District 5 Quad A, which they participate in, plays, but they played the Buffs tough so far, and they liable to make some noise in their own district. We may see these fellows along the way in the playoffs. Here's the kickoff by Baker. It goes to the Spartan player, and he's down on the 39-yard line where they'll take over 1st and 10.
Tackle made by number 50, Goo Allen that time. Beautiful kick coverage. Yeah, you're right. They are a class football team that we're playing out there, and it makes you feel better when you beat a good football team than to beat somebody that is far inferior to you, Jay. So
That's correct. This is a good tune-up game to get ready to go into our season. Next week we'll be playing at East Ascension. They're an old nemesis. That was an incomplete pass from Todd Guidry to his wide receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 yards.
I guess on very few occasions have we ever had to play Spartans 2 weeks in a row.
That's correct.
Here at Comeaux High School, the football team is the Comeaux High School Spartans, and then next week, as Jay said, we'll be in Gonzales, Louisiana, folks. We'll be on the road again, and we'll be meeting the East Ascension High School Spartans of our sister district. It will not be a district game, but they're very competitive when they play the Buffalo, of course.
That was very nearly picked off again.
Everybody knows that the East Ascension Baker game is very competitive for more reasons than one. We play every year for the Mayor's Trophy, Jay, so hopefully everybody comes to Gonzales to see us maintain possession of the Mayor's Trophy, which we've had for several years now. I talked to Mayor Johnny Berthelot the other day. He said he's been the mayor now for 4 years. He hasn't had possession of that trophy yet, and his feelings are hurt.
He only gets to see it once a year. That's right, isn't it?
We managed to show it to him at the end of every game, but he said the people's getting upset with him because since he's been mayor, they haven't had that trophy. And I said, well, we're going to try to keep that little string going for him.
Well, hopefully we'll have the same success against those Spartans that we're having against these. Oh, their quarterback's loose on a good little run.
Knocks him out of bounds, number 21. The defensive pursuit around the right end that time had managed to go inside instead of maintaining outside coverage. We had 3 players that went for the quarterback, but they were inside. When he got around those 3, he had a little alley opened up around the side.
That's right. He made a nifty little run to the Baker 45, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans, with 2:20 remaining in the game. But one thing you can say for this Spartan football team, they weren't down even after that Baker touchdown. They're still in there scrapping. Guidry's throwing way downfield, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted.
Picked off that time by, I think maybe number 20.
Is that?
Well, number 20, Von Page picks off the pass for the Baker.
Oh, it's number 29, Alvin Green.
29 for the Baker Buffaloes. Alvin Green. Let's give Alvin all the credit we can give him. Alvin Green, number 29, picks off that pass for the Baker Buffaloes. Let's take another look at it real quick.
Bad cover.
Well, we didn't have the camera right that time, so we won't get a look at that play.
Well, Greg, we might
give Alvin Green credit. Number 29 picked off that pass for the Buffaloes.
That's 3 interceptions this week. It matches the 3 that we had this last week. So we've got a pretty good average going here. We're probably up close to the top of the leaderboard in the state in interceptions. That's 6 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and some of the folks in the community speculate that maybe our weakness could be.
Oh, a flag on the play. A late hit on Lamar Thomas.
Got a little feistiness that time. Some of the folks speculated the first of the year. Of course, it's easy to speculate the first of the year because we hadn't seen any action and you don't know.
That's right.
And they speculated that maybe our weakness could be in the defensive secondary. But so far tonight, and action we seen last week, that
No. You can't argue with success. 6 interceptions in 2 games, not quite 2 games. You still got 1 minute and 29 left in this one. But Coach Broussard has got to be extremely happy with the way that his defense has played tonight.
Baker has possession of the ball, folks, with 1 minute and 29 seconds left, and there was a flag on the play. The officials right now are trying to decide right there at the center of your screen what they're going to be doing. And it is against the Spartans. I think when they said roughness, and Jay called it a little late hit. And a 15-yard penalty is in favor of the Buffalo this time.
That'll bring up a first down for Baker. Greg Moog takes a snap to center. He hands off, and we got a good little run around the end by Earl Marcel. He's finally knocked out of bounds. On about the 40-yard line. That's a nice little pickup of 5 yards. A little bit over 5 yards. It'll bring up second down and about 4. Clock's running with under a minute left to go as Greg Moog brings the team up to the line of scrimmage. He hands off to the first man right up the middle. That was number 33, Eric Butler, for a short gain.
Clock's running, and it looks like you can turn out the lights. The party's over, folks. It's 23 seconds left in the game. Baker Buffalo's leading by a score of 17-3. Here in Lafayette, Louisiana.
They may not even run another play.
I don't think either side's going to call timeout. 12, 11, 10, 9. The clock's going to run on out, folks. And the Baker Buffaloes will be victorious in their second regular season ball game. 3, 2, 1. That is the end of the game. Well, the Baker Buffaloes have been victorious over the Spartans of Comeaux High School here in Lafayette, Louisiana, the second regular season game of 1987. We're very, very proud of the Baker Buffaloes. I want to mention a group of other folks that we're proud of, Jay. We talked about the administration of the high school. Of course, we're proud of the faculty, the fine job they do as far as educating our young people. But the coaches for the Baker High School, we're very, very proud of. Head coach Larry Thomas, his second year as the head mentor here at Baker High School and athletic director. Milton Broussard, who's the defensive coordinator, along with Joe Moog, who is our offensive coordinator. We want to thank all our other coaches, Richie Orey, Melvin Stringer, David Hopper, Earl Langlois. They do a fine job working with these young men, making the program what it is. Our managers, John Keller, Ronald Bromley, Kevin Alford, and Ricky Stiles. These young men get very, very little recognition and very little glory for the fine job that they do. Our trainer for the team is Coach Edward Brabham. Our team doctors that's out here for every ball game, both home and away, spend a lot of their time, get paid nothing. Dr. Robert Hyde and Dr. Craig McCullough. We want to thank these gentlemen for making the program what it is. They do a fine job for our young people here at Baker High School, the kind of people that we can be proud of and our kids can look up to. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to be back in just 1 second.
That special feeling when you're driving a superior deal is satisfaction. Superior Ford, where the savings are real. For service that's one of a kind. The friendliest people you'll find at Superior Ford and Zachary, where you can drive a superior deal and feel superior.
Folks, here we are in the press box at the conclusion of the Baker High School Buffalo and Comeaux High School Spartan football game, where we've just watched an exciting football game, the second regular season game of the season for the Buffaloes, where they were victorious tonight by a score of 17-3. It's exciting and fun to be a part of Baker High School football in any way, Jay. As you can remember, when we were both football players on that field, how exciting it was there. It's so exciting you want to stay a part of it in any kind of way that you can. And I want to say I thank you for being up here with us tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed being with us, and look forward for you to be with us next week and maybe some weeks to come.
I have. We watched watched LSU play the Texas Aggies the other day, and they're famous for the 12th man, and Bert Carson, our director and supervisor at Trev Productions, kind of used the 12th man philosophy tonight. He went down in the stands and drafted Ron Wall and I while you were out on the loop following Bert's directions of how to get here. So I really enjoyed being with you. It's fun being up here and watching the game, and I am proud to be an ex-Baker Buff player, and look forward to being back again next week.
We'll look forward to having you. About the football game tonight, here we are at Comeaux High School in Lafayette. Maybe 3 weeks ago, nobody knew who these folks were or where they're located. We know tonight because this little team come out here and play football against us, and we won the football game, but we beat a good football team. That's important.
Exactly.
Anybody can beat a sorry football team, but to beat a good football team means that you have something now. It's still early in the season to really indicate what the Baker Buffaloes have. I think that your knowledge of football would tell you that. We're early. We haven't seen everything that the Buffaloes have. We have seen a lot of personnel. We've seen that the Baker Buffaloes have a lot of depth. That's important.
That's very true. They ran several sophomore running backs and a couple of junior running backs, and of course Johnny Fletcher and Greg Mook are doing a wonderful job alternating at quarterback. There's very little drop-off in performance when either one of those young men are in there. And tonight, the punt return, that was exciting. A new dimension of our offense.
It really was. Pass coverage, like you said, was beautiful. It was excellent. It was kind of an unknown at the first of the season what we would have in a defensive secondary. It seems that the coaches have got that program intact. So I think we got some exciting things ahead of us. Folks, we're going to be in East Ascension next Friday against the Spartans of East Ascension High School in Gonzales, Louisiana. We want everybody to come down. We're playing for the coveted Mayor's Trophy. We've had possession of that trophy for the last 4, maybe 5 years. We want to keep possession. I think that the football team and the coaching staff is going to do their part. We need the fans to do their part. Again, we want to thank some folks that makes this program possible. Superior Ford in Zachary, Billy Ann Riddles, Billy Ann Flores in Baker, Louisiana, PPP Interior, the interior decorating store right there on Groom Road. Y'all stop and visit those folks. Friends is a hair salon in Baker. Visit those people. Tell them you appreciate them bringing you Baker High School football. And above all, we want to thank Trev. Trev is Baker's only public relations firm. And the owner of that firm is Bert Carson. Mr. Bert Carson is the man with the equipment that brings to these football games the equipment that makes it possible to bring you Baker High School football in your living room. We want to thank you for traveling, for being with us, for watching this program, and supporting the positive programs that Baker is all about. Jay, I want to thank you. Hope you'll be with us next week. And we wind the game up next week with just as well a fortune as we wound up with tonight. I'm Greg Allen along with Jay Brown. We'll catch y'all a little later.